Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on QNT. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about QNT. I'm going to start with this. Will QNT go lower? That's the million-dollar question right now. You know, a lot of people are still waiting for QNT to go back to $50. I don't know if it's ever going to get there. Like I said all the time, you have to find an entry point you can live with and get in. I still feel it's very undervalued right now. I believe QNT is going to go to some crazy numbers in the future. I've seen a lot of people say they aren't buying QNT because of its large market cap. While this sounds logical, it's also a pretty ignorant take. Last bull market, many projects with much less utility had huge market caps compared to Quant Network currently. Now look at where Bitcoin went in the last run. And think to yourself, Bitcoin has no utility. QNT has a ton of utility. Where is QNT going in the future? That's what it comes down to. I believe QNT is easily going to hit a higher price in the future than Bitcoin has in the past. And again, I will say it. Bitcoin has no utility. It's going to become irrelevant at some point in the future. Also, a project having a low market cap doesn't mean it's automatically a good investment choice. There are many microcaps that will crash and burn over the next few years. There's also a current large caps that will see upside none of us could have even imagined. And a lot of people are going to have regrets. They're going to say, I wish I would have bought some QNT while I had the chance, when it's hitting massive numbers. The overall crypto market cap is merely a fraction of the traditional investment market. In the grand scheme of things, we are very early. Pick right, and you could hold the next Amazon, Oracle, etc. But I emphasize, this will only happen if your project offers real world value. And again, the world's changing very fast. We see it. CBDCs are popping up all the time. And in the future, if your crypto has no real world value, it will become irrelevant, like Bitcoin. And I say that because there's a lot of retail investors still stuck in Bitcoin. I still believe Bitcoin has one more blow off top before the whole system comes crashing down. The current financial system, the stock market. Once that happens, that's when utility will take the helm and starts popping off to crazy numbers. I still feel that's what's coming in the future. Think about it. Every single bank, every single business throughout the world exchanging money through a new financial system. These cryptocurrencies cannot be low valued. QNT is going to tie the whole system together. It's going to be huge. QNT solved probably the biggest problem in blockchain, true universal interoperability. No single chain will rule them all. The future of Web3 will be multiple chains interconnected. Internet of Value doesn't work in walled gardens. If you think otherwise, you're delusional. Where you see QNT sitting in the middle, tied to XDC, tied to Ripple, tied to Algorand, Stellar, Hedera, IOTA, DAG, and then you see the banks that they're tied to as well. That's the new financial system. And we're so early to crypto, we see it getting built from the ground up. I will talk more about that at the end of this video. Happy New Year, fellow crypto family. Excited to see what 2023 holds for the industry. Can't be much worse than 2022. Let me tell you something. If you made it this far and you're still holding crypto, if you made it through the entire year of 2022, you will make it to the finish line. I stress that because this year was probably one of the worst. We seen FTX fall, Luna crashed out, other things happened as well. And if you had the stomach to stick it out and not sell at a loss and get out of crypto, you deserve what's coming next. I feel at some point this market's going to pull a full 180 and we're going to see massive green candles. It's inevitable. Tribalism is at the same time both good and bad for the crypto space as it simulates technology but lowers the adoption speed rate. And here's the first reason to be bullish on QNT. It creates connections between different sectors. And that's what I'm talking about, that new financial system. You see payment APIs, blockchains, enterprise blockchains, banking APIs, all coming together tying to QNT. And that's that massive network that's forming. And we already see some of these partnerships happening little by little. Despite hated discourses, we're covering facts and not moral talks. The developments for CBDCs are growing a lot, with Turkey launching the first test. Many more countries will surely follow, especially Western ones that will have a louder echo. Central Bank of Turkey runs its first CBDC test, and this is happening throughout the world right now. And the Bitcoin maxis are using this as FUD against the ISO coins. They're saying, get out of those ISO coins. You're running, you're investing in a slavery system that's going to enslave the planet. Let me tell you something. This is coming one way or another. Whether we invest or not, we're retail investors. This is our one shot to actually get financial freedom. And I've said it in countless videos. I believe that the system that's rolling out, the CBDC system, has one agenda: to enslave the poor, people that are dependent on government money. If you're rich, you may not have to live under that system in the future. Plus, you'll be able to afford carbon offsets and live life as normal. Get rich while you can. That's what I'm saying. The QNT Overledger, with its multiple solutions, is the perfect recipe to embrace and ease the process of CBDC's onboarding. But this is just the tip of the iceberg for Quant. There is much more behind it. MDApps, QRC20 plus QRC 721. Tokenization, that's going to be huge in the future. They want to tokenize everything, even time. NFTs, enterprise, plus banks onboarding. And again, we beat the institutional money here. Stablecoin minting, supply chain management, payments. As you can see, the potential to settle down into multiple businesses has very wide horizons. Once that institutional money comes pouring into crypto, you're going to see these cryptos hit numbers like that you could only imagine. The fundamentals will keep improving and exploring new ways of business integrations. So let's move to more technical aspects and why these will have an impact on the QNT price. We saw that QNT has a fixed supply of 14.6 million with zero future emissions. That's what really makes me want to buy more QNT. The fact that there's not that much of it. I don't feel there's enough to go around once Enterprise comes on board. This is preparatory to the price appreciation, as the product is strictly correlated to the token. The ecosystem of Quant puts QNT at the core, creating a mechanism as simple as effective: supply and demand. When there's not that much supply and there's a huge demand, the price will absolutely skyrocket. That's where I see QNT going in the future. So let's talk a little bit about some partnerships. LCX being a partner with QNT, working with them on Overledger Network, and being the exchange that helps launch the first ever QRC20 token sale, Leox. A lot of quant people I see dismiss LCX, but it's clear they will both do well together. And if you invest in QNT and you want to diversify, look at the other ISO coins, because QNT is going to be connected to every single one of them. And again, this is that network that's forming. QNT partnered with UST to help financial institutions build CBDCs, stablecoin. I'm telling you, QNT will be one of the biggest gainers of the next bull run. And I've said it time and time again. And I tell people, if you have enough to buy one QNT, buy it, because I feel it's easily going to be 5 digits in the future. AOBT, Baby QNT, also partnered within an ISO 222. And that's the network that I'm talking about. Little by little, it's getting built out. And as it continues to get built out, that's the new financial system. A lot of people don't understand that. They think, well, it's just this crypto partnered with this crypto. But then you've got to look beyond that. Then that crypto's partnered to this bank, partnered to this company, all coming together. QNT and XDC both partnered with the Inside R3. Overledger supports XDC's hybrid network. Functions in Overledger are now available on XDC, Apothem testnet, both involved in the CBDC conversation. Although not needed, could QNT become an XRC20? And we're going to see QNT tied to XLM, tied to XRP. It's just a matter of time. And as we get closer to the end of this year, 2023, I believe these cryptocurrencies are going to be sitting at much different prices than where they're at right now. I feel it's going to start with Ripple getting that regulatory clarity. That's going to really set things off. Plus, Flare going live this year as well. Once ISO goes live, that's going to be the big game changer. They're talking about the big bang migration happening in November of this year also. That could be like the flip of the switch moment we always heard about. But again, none of the talk is ever about Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. People keep saying, I see the maxis all the time. You know, I don't see why anyone would invest in these ISO coins. If you want true freedom, invest in Bitcoin. Like there's going to be some sort of alternative society where Bitcoin is the currency. That's never going to happen. There's no way that the central banks are going to allow competition. That's what it comes down to. You got to invest in what they're looking at as well. They're looking at utility driven coins such as QNT. They're the future. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.